Hey, what's up, studs? Ryan here, or M&R Productions, and welcome to Best LEGO MOCS for February 2020. This has become one of my favorite series to put together every month for you guys to take a look at some of the best MOCS being made around the community. So if you guys do have any submissions that you think are really cool that I haven't covered yet for Best LEGO MOCS, you can of course always email them to me or send them to me on Instagram, and maybe they'll find their way into a video. So if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like down below. And without further ado, let's get started with Rigid Brick on Instagram, who builds some really awesome micro scale Star Wars battles, or at least these are renders of such, and they look so amazing. There are some things that LEGO actually hasn't made in a set before here, but the ATTEs, of course, in that micro scale, and of course the drop ships as well, dropping them off. And let's not forget Gunship Gang, well represented in this particular Geonosius MOC. And I also couldn't not show off his micro scale Kashyyyk MOC. It's not in the highest quality image here, but you can see some swamp speeders down there, some ATAPs, some walkers, of course, represented by studs. We have little Kashyyyk troopers and Wookiees, and then you'll also notice some larger clone turbo tanks, which look really awesome, and then the Wookiee catamaran flying above, and of course the bases of the giant Kashyyyk trees. Great builds by Rigid Brick, and he has more stuff like that on his page. Of course, all the MOCs shown off in this video will be down in the description below in order of appearance. Next up on Instagram from TKBricks. He does these. We've talked about it before, but this one I think is a little bit special because it's actually from Solo, A Star Wars Story, and he's actually added the entire front section onto the UCS Falcon here, in addition to color swapping it and souping it up quite a bit in my opinion. So this color swapped UCS Falcon, Kessel Run Millennium Falcon from Solo, A Star Wars Story is amazing. And this is what would be a $1,000 LEGO set. 1,100 pieces. This would be a $1,000 LEGO set. You'd look at the UCS Falcon, that's $800. This is what would cost $1,000. I know it doesn't look like it's too much more, but there's 2,000 more pieces in this set than there is in the actual UCS Falcon, or more than 2,000 more pieces, I should say, about 3,000 more. So quite an incredible feat there by TKBricks to put that together. Next up, over on Reddit, we have an EF-76 Nebulon B Escort Frigate, and I picked this one for one reason, mostly because of the vote that just happened. This is a really good mock of the Escort Frigate, and this is kind of the idea that I think LEGO would go with, the size that LEGO would go with for a UCS displayable model. I don't know how they would go much bigger than this. And I kind of picked this one because of the comment section, because he says, guess which set I voted for between the Gunship Nebulon B and the TIE Bomber, and someone says, the Gunship, because you already have a Nebulon B, and I lost it when I read that. It was so funny. Such a great and playful way to make fun of him. Moving on, The Office. I guess it's not this person's design, so unfortunately I guess I won't have the original creator down below, but this is a pretty faithful recreation of The Office. Having watched The Office as much as I have in the last, 7 months, this is pretty spot on. I guess it's kind of missing the annex and like the back section of the office, and maybe they have plans to add on to it, but for like the base area of the office, this is amazing. You can probably pick out a ton of characters: Jim, Pam, Michael Scott. Looks like we have Creed over here, Meredith, Angela. Where's Dwight? Oh, there's Dwight. And this is so much better than the fake knockoff version of this set. I really love what they did with this MOC. It's pretty, like, I really want to make this myself. Of course, Kevin, just not really fat, obviously, because they don't make fat LEGO minifigures. What a shame. Could be really great there if they made him fat. But yeah, you have the meeting room, so it's amazing. This is really one of the most faithful Office remakes I have seen, so looks great. Something I wish to build possibly in the future. Moving on Reddit from Gman13579, we have the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda brickheads, and the Baby Yoda brickheads is kind of being rumored for 2020, so we might be seeing something very similar to this year. Hopefully it would come in a 2-pack with the Mandalorian. I don't see why they wouldn't do that, but LEGO doesn't seem to be the brightest when it comes to doing what fans want, so we'll see what happens with that. But this does look really good. And of course the Baby Yoda I think is going to be really hard for LEGO to do well. I just think it's really a small thing, and it's going to be hard for them to recreate the cuteness, and I think this MOC maker might have had the same trouble there. It's just hard to recreate that, but still very good brickheads, and I'm hoping to see something similar to that in LEGO form. Next up from Henry on Instagram, we have Palpatine's cloning center from Exegol from Episode 9. We got Snoke's in a can over here. We got Kylo Ren, who looks like he's scared out of his mind for some, like he's kind of leaning back away from it. That's kind of the vibe I get from that. Of course, Palpatine on his arm. Great use of stud shooters there, actually. Really like that. But if we flip over here, you'll see a little bit more of Palpatine's arm, and I'm kind of hoping LEGO makes a set like this just so I can see how they would go at making something like the arm holding Palpatine. I think that would be crazy to see LEGO try and make, but very cool build. Basically coming down from nowhere is this arm. Next up from Luigi Andrew on Instagram, it's a fire Gorgon, and I don't understand how you would even start building something like this. It's got such a unique building style. That's why I really picked it. It's got so many of these like horn pieces, I think is what they would be typically used for, but he uses them to shape the body of the fire Gorgon, and like I have just never seen anything in this style before, so it kind of blew me away looking at it. It looks so good though. Like, it looks great. Like, those horn pieces really do shape up really well. This is one that I looked at and I was like, how do you even start building this? Where does the concept come from? And of course he uses the mesh nets to hold on some studs, and then there's some lights in underneath there for the stomach of the beast. Looks very cool, very scaly, and again, a very interesting and unique building style that I just hadn't seen before, and that's kind of why I decided to feature it. From Norton74, we have a garage, and this is like a garage to fix. It looks like he's got some motorcycles in here, mopeds, so that seems to be what this garage is for. Got them jacked up so he can work on them. Very, very neat, very true to life. I would love to see some characters. This looks like it would fit perfectly with like the mini land characters. That seems to be like the type of scale it feels like it's in. Like, minifigures would be too small, but the mini landers that Star Wars or from Legoland are probably something that would make sense. A lot of tools over here on the desk, and just a very heavily detailed garage here, and even the lighting is just so spot on. I love the little beams that he has running across. So beautiful build, and he actually has a lot of other cool builds on his Instagram page, so you should definitely check that out. Next up, we have a Duel on Cugini by VaderFan2187, and this is honestly like a perfect set LEGO could make at like a $20 range. They've done these sets recently, and I think this is one that makes so much sense because it's such a cool combination of the two areas. So you have Kylo Ren's quarters where Rey is, and then you have Cugini where Kylo Ren is, and then they're obviously communicating with the Force so they can kind of see each other in their different environments, except they can't see. I don't know, it's very hard for me to explain, but you get it if you've seen the movie, and I think this would be a really cool set for LEGO to make. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you haven't seen the movie, but if you've seen the movie, I think this becomes a really neat set. I think LEGO could even go a little bit bigger than this MOC, but this MOC is amazing. It's pretty spot on. It's just like what I would think LEGO would develop for a set. Next up on Instagram from Thomas Jenkins, we have a UCS style Republic Gunship. I think the UCS one that LEGO comes up with might be even bigger than this. I can't imagine it wouldn't be, because this is still about as big as the regular LEGO Republic Gunship. It's just a lot more detailed and cleaned off, so I really like that. I really like that he was able to put the missile launchers up in here. That's something that I would really like to see LEGO fit in there nicely with the UCS model. Looks like we have a Jedi Bob recreation down there. And of course the little laser turrets down here, and the laser turrets on the side of the wings, which I only recently learned that minifigures aren't actually supposed to go in there and that they just shoot lasers. And then I rewatched the part in episode 2 and I'm like, yep, minifigures don't go in the wings. So kind of makes sense now. Backside looks really clean as well. A lot of clean angles on this gunship, so looks beautiful. And I'm of course looking forward to hopefully finding out that the Republic Gunship won the vote at the time of recording this. I do not know which set won, but there's a closer look at a lot of the detailed bits that he has put into this MOC. Even a little speeder bike coming out of the back, kind of reminiscent of the Clone Wars version of the Republic Gunship that LEGO released there. Moving on to Instagram, Superhot and Superhot VR. This is a video game, and honestly, it's probably the most unique color scheme MOC. Like, I like the game Superhot. I've never played it, but I've watched a little bit of gameplay, and one of the most interesting aspects of it to me is the jarring colors. You have red for the bad guys, your guy is black, and then basically the rest of the space is white, and it creates this really beautiful aesthetic that this LEGO MOC has really beautifully recreated. So really like what's going on there. Another one on Reddit here, something that I actually don't think I've ever seen anyone do in LEGO before, but this one looks great because they've recreated light and shadows with LEGO, and it actually is pretty faithful. So if you can imagine, the sun is coming out from the top right here and beaming on down into this garage, I would imagine, or whatever room room this is through these windows, but it looks like it's casting light with the white and then shadows in between. It's actually a really unique idea that I haven't really seen anyone execute before in LEGO, so maybe that's something you'll see more in MOCs in the future, because I just haven't seen it before. Maybe I've just been missing it, but that is really neat. So great job there. Nice little construction zone here. I just kind of found this pretty neat, where the construction workers are working on pipes underneath this, I guess, sidewalk or road. So that was kind of a cute little MOC that I thought I'd throw in there. This one by URUK_Pro is the first task of the Triwizard Tournament from Harry Potter in the Goblet of Fire. Such an epic recreation of the scene. You have the rocky pit with Harry on his broom there, trying to fly away from the fire-breathing dragon who's chained up. Of course, you have a bunch of spectators there, which looks great, but I think the rock work is where this MOC really shines. They did such a beautiful job making it look so natural. Of course, the building up here looks great too, but like, I love the rock work. I'm not very good at rock work, and seeing good rock work always makes me happy. So a beautiful MOC from Harry Potter there. Here we have a pretty unique MOC that takes a unique perspective to be able to understand. So it looks like it's a TV with soccer on the TV, except if you look at it from the side or from any different angle, you can see that it's obviously a MOC that you have to be looking at dead on to see what it's actually supposed to look like. So this is a pretty unique MOC for the way it's built like that, and there's some other stuff on here, but even complete with a little remote and speaker there, partially blocking the TV, unfortunately. Moving on to LEGO ideas, I thought I'd start throwing in some LEGO ideas projects in these monthly MOC videos so that you guys can have something to support. And here we have a working waterfall, so we'll go ahead and take a quick look at how this works. You can see there's actually Lego studs falling through, and they have some sort of tread or something in there that's spinning that picks up the water studs and sends it along, and it's a pretty neat little contraption that they've got going on there. I think if Lego were to make this, it might be a bit tough for them to get quality control down on and actually like have working consistently, but this is a really good MOC, and I really hope that it does make it through the LEGO Ideas Gauntlet to 10,000 votes, because I think it'd be unique for Lego to make something that works like this, a running waterfall in LEGO. And you honestly, Lego could probably include more studs than this guy does in his MOC, but a beautiful working Lego waterfall. A lot of images of it included on the ideas page. This is another one that I would really like to see get 10,000 supporters. It's a beautiful MOC of a sheriff's safe with combination lock, and there's one real reason I want this to be made. Okay, let me be honest. There's some really cool stuff included. You know, they probably wouldn't do the pistol there. They probably just do like the gold and stuff, but I think it'd be really cool. You guys have probably seen the lock-picking lawyer. I just want to hear, hey, this is the lock-picking lawyer, and this is the Lego sheriff safe with combination lock. And like, I just would like to see that video from the lock-picking lawyer. I like watching his videos from time to time, and I just thought it would be really cool if this got made and then lock-picking lawyer makes a video. Two-player table basketball looks like a pretty neat Lego set. Of course, Lego doesn't really have a NBA license right now, but that's not something that would be impossible for them to get again. They've had it in the past. This is a really neat set because it's something you can play with a buddy. I think that's a really cool concept. And of course, basketball is really popular with kids too, so kids would really like this set, and I would really like set because I like basketball. There's plenty of older people that like basketball, so I think this would be a pretty unique set. Of course, maybe they could come up with a new contraption. I think they've used here the superhero stand to actually let you fling the basketball, so maybe that would be what Lego would work for the mechanism, but maybe they would come up with something new. Either way, it would be a pretty cool set to see hit 10,000 supporters and see what Lego would put out as an actual set. And finally, from Toxic Tiger 11_Star Wars, we have the Stinger Mantis from Jedi Fallen Order. People say they wanted Fallen Order sets, and it doesn't look like Lego's going to be making any anytime soon, but here is a rather large one that you might enjoy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce all these names. I just know Cal Kestis is like the one name that I recognize on there, but from a video game that I think has been pretty popular and a lot of people have liked, I think this is a really neat MOC, and here's an image of just the vehicle or the ship there with a pathway out for your minifigures to get in and out. But that is all for the best LEGO MOCs for February of 2020. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you want to check out any of the MOCs or the MOC makers that you saw during this video, they'll be linked down below in the description in order of appearance. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.